Hi there, happy Monday. Uh, Today is September the 9th. That would make it journal number 164 or T+160, 160 days post transplant. Yesterday I recorded a blog post that had to do with prophecy and self prophecy or self fulfilling prophecies and the impact that you have on creating your own future or can have on creating your own future. Uh, then I got to thinking specifically about how that impacts illness, an illness like mine in particular, or any other serious chronic, treatable or untreatable illness. And the fact that sometimes it takes more than just thinking to make it so, to paraphrase Shakespeare. Um, Sometimes it's almost impossible to solely wish yourself well again, as much as we'd all like to. If that were the case, then nobody would be ill. However, um, it would be wise not to discount the impact that having a positive mental attitude throughout your diagnosis, illness, treatment, recovery are all concerned. I don't think we understand well enough the impact that positive mental attitude and the way you approach that illness can have on the quality of your life while you're going through it. I know it had an incalculable impact on mine. I don't know that it's possible to heal yourself. Uh, I think that it is possible through that positive mental attitude to create conditions within your own body that make it easier to heal. I have no evidence to base that on. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I just, based upon what I've seen and what I've experienced personally, I have to believe that that's true. Um, how? How do you do that? I mean, well, one of the ways that you do that is an attitude of gratitude, as we've talked about in the past. You wake up each morning and say, today is going to be a good day. Um, Maybe perhaps there's a little bit more to that I left out in the past. You wake up in the morning and you say, today is going to be a great day. And then you follow that with another phrase that says, and I'm going to do whatever I can, whatever is humanly possible for me to help make it a great day. Because it's not going to be a great day by itself. It's not. That's not going to magically happen in and of itself. There's a little bit of participation. I mean, there's certainly an ingredient of you that is mixed in with this mix of wellness that we're all talking about. So I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to say today's going to be a great day, and I'm going to do whatever I can, whatever I have to make it a great day. Whatever I have power over, whatever I have control over, whatever I have influence over, I'm going to work diligently to make sure that happens. I think that has a bigger role in all of this than any of us can possibly imagine. I know that's the case with me. Again, I think you have to go ahead and understand how important it is to seek out quiet moments. Whether you call it mindfulness, whether you call it meditation, whether you call it, whatever you call it, it really doesn't matter. But I think that we all have to find ways to just tamp down the monkey brain chatter that goes through our heads all the time, because that vortex that's created by that steady stream, that steady flow of thoughts that goes flying through your head and across the inside of your eyelids all the time, will inevitably bring with it negative thoughts. It'll bring with it anxiety. It'll bring with it images of a future that's not bright, that's not shiny, that's not positive. And you don't need that, frankly. None of us do. Especially if you're in the midst of a battle, a life and death struggle with a chronic illness that's debilitating, and taking its toll on you both physically and mentally. You need that moment of quiet solitude to really focus on what it's going to take to get better, to get healthy, to have your body help you in the healing process. One thing I can pretty well assure you of, having been through what I went through, and that is that the doctors and the nurses and the medical establishment cannot do this on their own. They cannot do it by themselves, as much as they'd like to, and as hard as they try. You got to meet them halfway. And that means that you've got to listen. That means that you've got to do what they tell you to do. That means that even when you don't want to, you have to exercise. Even when you don't want to, you have to eat. Even when you don't want to, you're going to have to walk. Even when you don't want to, you're going to have to drink. I told you once before, I do 2.5 of these at least every day. Do I enjoy it? Nope, not particularly. Water is not my favorite beverage, my beverage of choice. I don't think I'd have any problem filling that up 2.5 times with coffee, but coffee doesn't count. Specifically doesn't count. So I think the first thing that you have to do is that you have to stop thinking about who you are and where you want to be. You have to stop and think about the future, your future. And you have to be able to envision yourself as an active participant in that future moving forward. You have to see yourself in that future. You have to see yourself with your wife or your husband or your partner. You have to see yourself with your kids. And you have to see yourself with their kids. You've got to have a reason to wake up in the morning and say, today's going to be a good day. And despair and depression are your natural enemies. And that's not to say that they're not going to try and exert their ugly presence on you throughout this whole process. They certainly tried with me. I was fortunate in the respect that I was surrounded with a community of people I love and that love me, and that made it easy for me to have a positive attitude and gave me plenty of reasons to move through my illness as I continue to recover. But I believe that the critical importance of having a positive mental attitude, being able to see yourself in a better future, being able to contemplate wellness for yourself and for those around you, plays a critical role in your ability to get well and to get well sooner. And I don't think it can be diminished. And I don't think it should be diminished. I think that in order for it to work, you have to believe it'll work. Just like in order for mindfulness to play the important role that it does play in your life, you have to go ahead and take that time and quiet your brain down and breathe properly and relax and just enjoy the quiet that comes with it, the peace that comes with it. If that sounds like a lot of New Age comic relief, if that sounds like, a lot of New Age mumbo jumbo, I'm sorry. I probably can find a time in my life much earlier when I would have agreed with you. But now I've really seen the importance of understanding that I have to be, in order to be successful, that I have to be an active participant in my own wellness. And I think that holds true for all of us. So think about that. Think about how easy it would be to wake up in the morning and say, today's going to be a good day, damn it. And I'm going to do whatever I can, everything I can, to make sure it's a good day. And recognize that that's going to mean choices throughout the course of the day, and that it's really important that you exercise good judgment at all times when it comes to making those choices. In the meantime, stay well, take care, enjoy, and I'll see you again tomorrow. I'm getting really excited because I've got my regular Tai Chi class tomorrow night, and then I have another Tai Chi class, a different Tai Chi class, the following night. So those are two of the things that I'm doing to stay well. So take care. Again, I truly enjoy hanging out with you guys.